Good afternoon to you, Slee. There's been lots of suspected counterfeit goods. I saw your crossings earlier. Bags and bags of suspected counterfeit goods being pulled out of buildings. Just tell us a little bit more about what authorities and traders have been telling you.
We are here in the Johannesburg CBD where we have a full-on counterfeit goods raid taking place. I guess we can call it raid 2.0 after the last one didn't go as planned. If I just move out of shot and ask my colleague Mashudu to give you a view of what we're seeing at the moment, we have a number of buildings that are being raided here on Rahima Musa Street. In fact, it's the same area in which the police had to basically abandon operations last week, where we saw chaotic scenes of rocks being hurled at the police, basically lawlessness taking reign. What we also understand, of course, that we have a number of firearms, including rifles, that have also been confiscated during this raid. And we understand from speaking to the provincial police commissioner that this operation will definitely be taking place for most of the day, if not all night. And just one of the buildings that go up to at least the 20th floor, they're still trying to get rid of goods there. But just to give us more on what we're seeing here in the CBD, I am joined by the MMC for Community Safety. Thank you for joining us. What we're seeing here, are we going to see a rollout of these kinds of operations in other areas, and what are those areas that you're targeting here in Johannesburg?
Well, firstly, we are part of the South African Police Services operation today, SJMPD, as the City of Johannesburg. We're going to ensure that this is a smooth operation, and I really want to commend the police officers out here today. The operation is going on. As you can see, it's very difficult to get into some of the storage rooms and shops. You know, they are behind steel doors, but where these counterfeit goods are being held, and certainly this operation will continue. Just to share with you some of the challenges we have to go through. I was personally up, climbed 12 stories of this building, where every single floor there's either shops, there's storage rooms, there are even manufacturing factories where these fake logos would be printed on, the labels would be stitched on. Is, I think quite correctly, as you've indicated earlier, on the 12th floor there was a room, full of weapon, heavy artillery, rifles. We're very concerned, and this is a kind of operation we need to see more regularly in the city of Johannesburg to ensure that we not only deal with the counterfeit goods, but we root out all criminality in the street and in the city centre of Joburg.
The criticisms, though, is that it seems that SAPS and these operations target mainly the CBD, whereas authorities are aware of other particular areas that are basically running similar operations.
Well, I think if you saw what happened last week, we really need to reflect and understand why is there so much violence. But when you come to the ground and you look at the amount of illegal counterfeit goods, the level of illegality and criminality, you can't blame the police wanting to focus in this area. We certainly, as the City of Joburg, will give the support to SAPS, to our colleagues. Custom is here, Home Affairs are here. So we need to make sure that we not only focus on the counterfeit, but all the other criminalities, as we pick them up, we'll deal with it.
And what happens to all these counterfeit goods?
Well, firstly, they will have to be accounted for. They need to be counted. They'll be taken through to a storage area where, of course, the National Prosecuting Authority will use them as evidence. Once the legal process has been completed, they certainly need to be destroyed. And we want to ensure that, none of these goods being seized today goes back into the market, as has been alleged before. People saying that, today you seize them from us, tomorrow you sell it back to us. We also want information from the public if there are any law enforcement agency or any members that are doing this kind of crime by seizing these goods illegally only to sell them back as to the traders to sell. Please give us information. We need to catch those criminals because they are as bad as anyone else.
All right, thank you so much.
Great, thank you.
All right. Still on the ground, and as you can see to my left, if I ask Mashudu to pan, the police have finally managed to open at least one of the stores. They've been banging up against it to try and get it open, but it seems they have managed to open it up, and the operations will be most of the day. The provincial police commissioner saying if it takes them all night, they'll be here all night if need be.
Well, thank you very much. That's ENCA's Lindelo Masikane downtown in Johannesburg as that raid continues on alleged counterfeit goods. Quite startling information coming there from MMC Michael Sund that they're basically inner city buildings that have been converted practically into counterfeit factories where the fake labels are stitched onto goods, but also that footage of the guns and the ammunition that seems to be housed downtown.